Hello everyone, and now welcome to game 2 in a series here on Amazonia. On the top right hand side of the map we do have, I believe it is, oh, they decided to switch colors this time around. Alright, so we have, come on, there we go. No, I need Fog of War off. There we go. Okay, so we have Sweet Backing spawning as the red Undead player. Meanwhile, we have Forever TeD spawning as the blue Undead. Yes, this is Sweet Backing, who is also going under TiuJQY. Don't quite know how to say that. But this is an Undead versus Undead mirror match. Game 2 taking place here on Amazonia. Game 1 was on Ancient Isle, excuse me. A map that a map very similar to this one, except for there are actually two paths to get around, not just a straight up walk down the middle type of game. Now, taking a look, we do see a 5-3-3 creep camp alongside a very easy creep camp here. Are we going to see the blue player once again go for a Death Knight, or will he actually go for a Lich this time? So far, we're just waiting for that 2-minute mark of that game to get underway, and what hero is it going to be? It is going to be the Death Knight once more. Death Knight versus Death Knight. Was really hoping to see a little bit more Lich action in this game, but can't always get what we hope for. Now, Amazonia, one of those maps where there are a fair number of creep camps to creep out, and fairly easy to do so. You can see that there's a green creep camp here, a green creep camp down here. Meanwhile, there are orange creep camps here and here. I don't see any human players though, so this is not going to be a very easy militia creep. And on top of that, the mud golems are rather difficult to take down, especially when you have ghouls, as those rock golems, is able to throw a rock and then essentially shut down a unit very quickly. We are going to be going into a Nerubian tower. The Nerubian tower is already operational and will slow any units as they make their way in. Quick purchase of a Rod of Necromancy. Meanwhile, the Death Knight doing the same exact thing as well. Rod of Necromancy, and they're perhaps going to be abusing each other's graveyards. You can see that there is a graveyard down over here. TeD, the blue Undead player, and the red Undead player now simply making their way across the map. You can see, oh, there is a downed fawn right there, as we now are getting into this battle. So far, two skeletal warriors now will be trying to push in off over here. Nerubian towers are already up, as we take a look at the red Undead player, hoping to perhaps get up enough ziggurats to move or neutralize any potential threat. Okay, the Death Knight now trying to make its way over. Is it going to perhaps pick up some more units? And there you go. More skeletal minions are now out on the field. The ghouls are trying to push those back. Meanwhile, the acolytes are trying to get away. There goes one, and that is already going to be a hard hit there. Are we going to perhaps see another ghoul or another acolyte get taken down by skeletal minions? It looks as though the acolyte is already out. Skeletal minions are out, and currently 3 skeletal minions, 2 skeletal minions. Will it be able to take this down off over here? It is moving relatively quickly, and down goes another acolyte. So far, the red Undead player has lost, I believe, 2, if not 3 acolytes. More deaths coming in. Meanwhile, down over here, we can see another engagement as TeD has some very low hit point acolytes. And what is this? Death. Oh, are we going to actually see some pathing coming in? Some beautiful attacking coming in as the ghouls. Is it going to be able to get the hit? Yes, it does. And now, wow, a huge play by TeD. TeD now with almost level 2 Death Knight, as the game is now getting underway. Death Knight now looking to back off here. Skeletal minions trying to take down one of those acolytes. Acolyte does not go down. We now see 5 acolytes on the haunted gold mine. But a huge bonus for TeD, as he is now about to get to level 2. So very nice play. We can see that the Halls of the Dead now being upgraded on both sides at about the same amount of time. But really, losing that Death Knight early and giving your opponent experience is just simply not acceptable. Is the Death Knight going to perhaps try and creep out this creep camp here? That could be happening. Fighting on Blight is always a little bit easier for an Undead player, as you can see how much hit points are currently being regenerated. Not going after any of the creeps, instead going to be going straight for his opponent's base again, and this is coming as a surprise. Red Undead player now going to get it to, or perhaps even get to level 2 faster, as we now see TeD now making his way off to the north. Perhaps he's just lining up to place down some pressure, and that is it. As the Death Knight leaves a Tome of Strength behind. Let's see if an additional 25 hit points would make a difference. Renegade Wizard 533 creep camp now coming in. Meanwhile, Skeletal Minions are once again diving straight in here. Is it going to be enough? The Death Knight is sitting at level 2. And is it going to go for a Death Coil? That is going to be the question. Skeletal Minions now trying to make their way over. There's the Death Coil saving the Acolyte, as this Acolyte now on the run. Is this Acolyte going to be able to make it away in time? And oh, a beautiful block, only to see that melee attack does go the distance. So far, one Acolyte has been taken down. The Death Knight, I perhaps now believe, sitting at level 2, isn't going to be able to do very much of anything, as we can see that Sweet backing the Red Undead player already coming over. Renegade Wizard now coming in, and oh, a huge potential Creepjack, as the Crypt Fiend now coming over and getting some easy damage onto the Death Knight as well. So far, that one Crypt Fiend is causing a bit of problems. Meanwhile, the Renegade Wizard going after some of the buildings. We are seeing an engagement going back and forth. Are we going to have a Death Coil? Yes, Death Coil by the Red Undead player, ensuring that he does not give any more experience, as we see a Death Coil to save a lower hit point Crypt Fiend. Both sides still battling it out.
Upgrade complete.
Here we have it. Crypt Fiends now pushing back with Skeletal Minions. So far, this is a pretty even game. We are already at tier 2. Halls of the Dead now training up some more Acolytes. We should perhaps be getting up a Lich as well. There it is. Meanwhile, we are already upgrading the Black Citadel. No Lich, and we are going into a Slaughterhouse. So a very, very quick tier 3 build coming in from TeD once more. All right. Crypt Fiend's now backing around. Death Knight now looking to make its way over. We are going to see an engagement here as the Crypt Fiend now taking a bit of damage, now backing off. Both sides still fighting, but the rogues causing a bit of problems, as we now see this Crypt Fiend Death Knight hero army battle. Now fighting on opponent's blight does still give additional hit points to the Death Knight, as we are trying to fight this out. Both sides still continuing to fight this here. Crypt Fiends now making their way over, getting off some easy shots, getting some damage off onto that Tomb of Relics. Meanwhile, the Death Knight continuing to battle it out and exchange blows. This is not looking good for either side. But then again, I do believe that the Lich is already coming out, and we are halfway to level or to tier 3. Lich already out here. Lich may be able to get off some Frost Novas. We are not yet at tier 3. Coming in from the Red Undead player, actually further along by the Blue Undead player, TeD, who's currently about 66% there. Death Knight now wandering all the way back, using the Skeletal Minion charge once more. He's going to be able to recharge enough hit points and then head back out. This he is going to be going up against a much larger, stronger army. The Death Knight getting very close to level 3, could get a level 2 Death Coil, as the Death Knight here just sitting at level 1. All right, Ring of Protection +2, not going to be altogether that useful. Both sides still fighting it out, as the damage is already being added up. Obsidian Statue now giving home field advantage truly to the Blue Undead player, as he's going to be able to benefit from both Blight and Towers. Death Coil staying alive ever so slightly, as the Death Knight now making a move, or the Lich now making a move. We can see Frost Nova was not cast. Death Knight seen at level 2. More Skeletal Minions coming in, and are these Skeletal Minions going to perhaps get taken down? And no, they are not. Lich still sitting at level 1. Death Knight sitting at level 2 using another Rod of Necromancy. All right, Red Undead, and oh, this could potentially be bad. A potential Creepjack here, level 3 on the Death Knight. Is he going to be able to do anything besides leave behind Gauntlets of Ogre Strength +3?
Our town is under attack.
Death Knight now looking to... The Blue Death Knight now looking to regroup and regather himself. Looks like he's going to be going after the Kobold Taskmaster. Death Knight of level 3 is going to be able to finish off any of these units here, and it looks like it will not be able to. Does get taken down just in time. Sentry Wards now being dropped for TeD, and we'll see what will happen of that. Dark Ranger already picked up. We are seeing the Undead Tri-Hero, that Death Knight Lich Dark Ranger, such a strong combination. And here is that battle out. Both sides fighting it up. There's that Frost Nova onto that Death Knight. Death Knight taking a bit of a beating. Frost Nova onto a low hit point Crypt Fiend. There it does go down. Meanwhile, the Dark Ranger has now been hired. Dark Ranger being hired back up. This is a 2-1-1 creep camp compared to, I believe, a level 3 Death Knight and a level 2 perhaps Lich. No, still level 1, so 3-1-1 versus 2-1-1 here on Amazonia as the Crypt Fiends, chasing after an illusion, not perhaps knowing that it is simply a one of illusion there. All right, here we have it once more. Death Knight, Lich, Dark Ranger with Abominations. Abominations, that a little bit of added bonus for the Undead to go after those Crypt Fiends. Level 3 now, and level 2, Death Knight has a Potion of Greater Mana, which may be given to the Lich for more Frost Novas. Having additional Frost Nova always very, very helpful, as the Crypt Fiend sitting at level 1, and now the Death Knight sitting at level 3. Abominations now making a move across. Where is this Obsidian statue going? Not quite sure. We can see one Obsidian statue off over here, keeping track, making sure that this Goblin shop is not yet getting cleared out. Crypt Fiends now being utilized. The Crypt Fiend not coming behind here to get in a little bit extra DPS. Instead, just going to go ahead and do it the old-fashioned way, taking down the attacks. But we are going to have a bit of a creep jack here, and this could potentially be a problem. All right, Obsidian statue now trying to be microed back, but that is just an illusion. Very, very smart to buy himself some time, as this engagement is now looking very, very strong for blue. All right, Obsidian statues now transforming into destroyers. Is it going to be enough going after some of those units on the ground? There is a Frost Nova. No pandas in sight. But then again, no real reason to get pandas, as there are no flying machines, and without flying machines to counter those destroyers, we'll probably just simply see web coming in from those Crypt Fiends. All right, coming back over here, Rock Granite Golem, the level 9, level 6 creep camp getting cleared out. Level, I believe, is that level 2? Level 2 on the Dark Ranger, level 3 now on the Death Knight. It looks like this Abomination just absorbing so much damage, taking that down, and now Claws of Attack plus 12. That is something that you do not normally see, and a Lich now with plus 17 attack, very, very strong, may be able to simply mow through many of his opponent's units. All right. Lich does attack relatively quickly, but is it going to be fast enough? The Death Knight now still wandering around here, going after this one Rock Golem. It is going to get taken down. Level 3 on the Death Knight, Tome of Agility, and what was left behind, I believe it is a second Potion of Greater Mana. And now with 2 potions of Greater Mana, this Lich is really, but okay, I was going to say 3, no. The Dark Ranger just gave his potion off to the Lich. The Lich should be able to get off about 4 to 5 Frost Novas, and that is going to be potentially huge, as that is a lot of damage and a lot of slow, long-range slow to be cast. All right, here we go. We do have a Cloak of Shadows on a Death Knight off to the side, and in comes this battle. Now Obsidian statue now on the way back, destroyers, and there is one Frost Nova. There's a Death Coil to try to save it. There's a Frost Nova now, a dive onto the blue Undead, the blue Death Knight. Both sides still fighting up, but it looks like red is actually on the run more, and this may actually end up doing it. We can see one Obsidian statue already taking, what, a bonus, an additional 6% damage. What are we going to be having next, as we see, what, Absorb Mana and Destroyers going straight into the air, followed with a Death Coil. There's another Frost Nova. That could potentially be bad. Yes, the Abomination just simply pokes and deals a whole bunch of damage to that Crypt Fiend. All right, sitting at 57 over 70, supply 63 over 70 now. And what is TeD's follow-up play going to be? He could simply just try and walk in here and deal the damage. So far, we see Destroyers, Crypt Fiends, Death Knight still wandering around, and Red now trying to re-engage. This is not going to be good for Red. The Crypt Fiend is backing off and buying himself a lot of time, and now the Death Knight absorbing a lot of damage. Death Knight now looking to back away. Crypt Fiends do have a whole bunch of webbed down Destroyers, and those Destroyers will simply be falling. Death Coil on a Crypt Fiend, not in time. Another Crypt Fiend does get taken down, and who is actually winning out in this battle? Level Dark Ritual now on that Lich. Is the Lich going to perhaps perhaps turn around and get off a Frost Nova. In comes the charge again. Death Knight sitting at level 3. Lich sitting at level 3. Dark Ranger sitting at level 2. Meanwhile, the Dark Ranger of TeD sitting at level 3. The blue Dark Ranger, and this mirror match is so even, except for in the number of Crypt Fiend counts. All right, Abomination still battling it up. There's a Frost Nova. Down goes one Crypt Fiend. Another Crypt Fiend goes down. One from both sides. Both sides still trying to fight it up as a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability now being used. Deathcoil saves it, buying himself just a long enough time to get enough cooldown and for another battle. All right, Crypt Fiend, is it going to get taken down? One more shot should do it. No, Deathcoil does save it again. And this fight is just going so well for blue. I don't believe red has a chance. The fight is just getting prolonged, and down goes the Death Knight of AG Fox's TiuJQY, and it is going to be a 2-0 win for TeD. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Stay tuned for a bonus game. Haven't quite decided who it's between, but stay tuned for a bonus game just because I did think this was a best of 3 series, and it only went to 2.